What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to the 786th edition of TSR Live, your daily dose of toxic masculinity. It is Friday, September 24th of 2021. It is good to have you guys in this afternoon. Of course, it being a Friday, I always give you guys my my Friday reminder. If you're going out for a night on the town, if you're going on a Tinder date, whatever the case may be, if you're going to the club, bar, whatever the case may be, remember three things on this Friday night. Number one. Oh, thank you. Number one, always wrap up. Use a condom. Number two, don't drink and drive. Use an Uber. And number three, send her that morning after text. There are a few things in this life that can derail a man's life faster and really more severely than a false EPAR accusation, a DUI, or an unexpected pregnancy as the result of a one-night stand. You do those three things, guys. That's going to save you a world of hurt, and a world of hurt, a world of trouble, and a shitload of money. Wrap up, call an Uber, send that morning after text. And when I say send that morning after text, I mean, hey, I had a great time last night. I'd love to do it again. And when she says, oh, OMG, me too, I can't wait to do it again, that right there is your reasonable doubt. Should a woman decide to try to use the law to turn your life upside down because you realized she was a hoe because she blew you in the parking lot at the bowling alley 37 minutes after meeting you, and you decide, well, you know what? Don't want her in my life. Just remember those three things. As always, we are streaming live to Facebook, MGTOW.tv, Manosphere.tv, YouTube, Twitch, and of course, in crystal clear, high-resolution 4K to Sharpe stream. This community's only independently owned and run platform, meaning it is impossible to cancel us. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. There we go. Let's try that again. Okay, very good. Much better.
Yep.
Perfect. So, however you're watching, wherever you're watching from, thank you for making the Sharpe Reality Live a part of your daily routine. Shout out to my snipers on the roof of the TSR Towers. My guys over on Sharpe Stream. Hellfong, Dre Raven, Apollo, Slapduck, Chronos Absolution, and Hemlar. Shout out to my sharpshooters in the YouTube chat. Dre Raven double dipping, Street Fighter 88. Kofich is in the house. I think you might be Kofich91 from Instagram, if I'm not mistaken. If that's you, welcome in. Glad to have you. Street Fighter 88 says, last night's interview was great. Yeah, it was a really good interview. And it appears that Devin stole the show. So yeah, that was a really good interview. Pearl, listen, man, she was, the discussion was good. She wanted to talk to Dev. She talked to Dev, and it was what it was. So very good. Very good. The River Bacon says, hope you do a call-in today. I'd like to know why. I'd like to know why you want me to do a call-in today. Okay, listen, let's not waste any time. I'm not going to sit here and run my mouth for no reason. Let's get to the reason why we are here. Kevin Samuels, the Godfather, did a live stream a couple of nights ago. And I actually talked to him about 45 minutes before he went on and did this live stream. He said, Donovan, you're going to want to stay up for this. He said you're going to want to stay up for my opening monologue, because I'm usually in bed by 9:30. All right, okay. Kevin's opening monologue, that is the definitive word on Kevin Samuels is gay. Kevin Samuels is gay. Kevin destroyed his detractors. And so anytime someone says, Kevin Samuels is gay, point them to that video. He squashed everything. And he did it brilliantly. So then he started bringing on the callers. And it kind of, I don't want to say it got off topic, but it highlighted a very prevalent problem in terms of the thinking of today's women. So let me quit messing around. Let's go ahead and get to it.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm well. How old are you?
I am 29.
29.
She said she's 29 years old. So we're already in the danger zone.
So what's the question?
First, I want to say that I've been listening to you for a while, and I think that a lot of your opinions are valid and extremely helpful for a lot of people that listen to you. I guess the thing...
I love how they always try to come in and butter Kevin up. First of all, I love your show, and I agree with a lot of what you say. Translation, I vehemently disagree with a lot of things you say. Like, that's... Come on. Why not just come up and say, look, here's the disagreement I have with you. Just keep it real, right? Now, women are not... It's not in their DNA to be straight up, and that's okay. That doesn't mean that they're bad. But I like it how women who always are the staunchest of detractors think that they can actually butter Kevin up so as to blind him to what's going to happen next. Kevin's 52 years old, man. He's 52 years old, dude. He's been there, seen that, done that. That's why he's the Godfather.
That I tend
and I like that too.
The question is your approach in how you give advice to people. I think what you have to say is valid in many cases.
You mean my tone?
Not necessarily your tone.
Well, then what is it necessarily? What is it necessarily? Women are the constant proponents of, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. That's absolutely wrong. The price is wrong, bitch. We've been trying to sugarcoat things for modern women for the last 50 plus years. 50 plus decades. I'm sorry, 5 plus decades. We've tried being nice about it, but all we've gotten is a collective fuck you. So guys like myself, Kevin Samuels, and others said, okay, if you're not going to listen to men trying to sugarcoat things for you, we're just going to give it to you raw. This was the Kevin Ray Wilder argument. Kevin Ray Wilder said that he didn't necessarily have a problem with my message. He just didn't like that I gave it to men and women so harshly. And did I care?
Nope.
Of course not. That's the way to get the message across. That's the way to get the message across. You see, handling women with kid gloves back in the day, that used to actually be the better thing to do. Right? You handled women with kid gloves and they responded in kind. Women were softer. They were more sensitive back then. These days, could not be more different. Women are women are more hard-headed than men. You can't tell them shit. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. Wrong answer.
I think sometimes people get the tone mixed up with the message. But I think sometimes the message gets lost in that a lot of women that come on seem to be lost because they don't have the father figure to tell them things and they don't know a lot of the things that you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not my problem. Look, man, I don't have... My heart goes out to women who had fucked up childhoods. I mean, honestly, it really does. It sucks, man. Because when you don't have a good, strong father figure, or if you were isubad in some way by, you know, a person of authority or a friend or even your father, that's some fucked up shit to have to go through, man. Like, your life is over at that point. That being said, that's not my problem. That's not our problem. I am not about to deal with the damage and the baggage. Like, listen, we're men. We understand women aren't perfect. Everybody has baggage that they bring. But some baggage is not worth checking. It's just not. If a woman was ever e-suba'd or e-par'd, she's got to go. That's it. Automatic game over. Automatic game over. There's nothing you can do to make up for what she went through. It is what it is.
Okay.
But
Well, unfortunately, they need to improve.
There you go.
It's just where I'm
That's
at
it.
with it. We cannot continue to ask men to supplement for the fact that women aren't where they need to be.
Right.
We've done that for too long. When men are where they need
go.
to be, women need to level up. Because softening the message, changing the tone, does nothing.
Nope.
How long have you watched my platform?
Oh, here we go.
I'd say probably about 3/4 of a year now.
3/4 of a year. Never really heard that, but okay.
All right. There have been plenty of times where I have moderated my tone, and you get the same outcome. It's actually tends to be, and I think there's the thought out there that if
Yeah, Ice Dragon Kid says more talk to us like Umar crap. Yeah, dude, Dr. Umar Johnson. Hi. Dude, that guy's as transparent as that guy's as transparent as a window. He's like a poor man's Derek Jackson. Like, that's all he does. Like, that dude, that's all he does. Is just, he tells women what they want to hear. Now, that doesn't mean he's a dumbass. Dr. Umar Johnson he's a smart man because he, like Derek Jackson, Matthew Hussey, who else is there? Jason Silver, etc. They figured out very, very early that it is far more profitable to tell women what they want to hear than it is to tell women what they need to hear. So not only do they sugarcoat the truth, they actually sugarcoat the lie. That's what makes it extremely addictive to women. You got this good-looking brother, the swole ass nigga. Derek Jackson's a 10 out of 10. Like, any bitch would fuck him. Black women and black and white girls. And I'm willing to bet Derek Jackson has more than just a few snow bunnies in his past and present. Be that as it may, yeah, that's why Derek Jackson is a millionaire. Because he figured out from very, very early on, he said, okay, I'm a good-looking brother. Hang on. Oh, there's Clyde. Never mind. He figured out very early on, listen, I'm a good-looking brother. There's a niche market. I'm a good-looking brother. I tell black women what they want to hear. Dude, he's a millionaire. He's a millionaire. Dr. Umar Johnson, same thing. I am not going to fault another man's hustle. Not doing it. Not doing it. Double H says you need to change your tone. Translation, shut up because we don't like what you're saying. Yeah, that's all that means. That's all that means. Anyone who says that they don't like your tone, they're telling you that they don't like the message. That's really what it is. Like, I was getting to that, but, I mean, I just call a spade a spade.
you were to change your tone, you'd catch more women.
Mm-hmm.
No. I honestly think I catch fewer
Yep.
based upon
She's not even rebuttaling.
what I know about the marketplace. So, you ever make allowance for the fact that maybe I'm not harsh enough?
Ooh. Uh-oh.
For certain people, I have considered that for sure.
For certain people, I'd have to agree with that, but certainly not you, right? Right?
Well, and that's the thing. It's like if we're going to have coaching, if we're going to have any kind of progress, we're going to have to get to a point to where the truth is the truth. And if it's like, well, I don't like your tone, the delivery, well, eat the meat, spit out the bones. But I cannot be everything for all people. And I don't think and I will say this lastly. Let me change this. How old are you again?
29.
How often do you hear black?
She actually looks younger than 29, so she looks good for 29. But he's about to drop the mic here.
Black women care about what.
Listen.
And I will say this lastly. Let me change this. How old are you again?
29.
How often do you hear black women care about what people think about their tone?
Uh-oh. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
There it is. There it is. There it is.
Thank you. You tell the average black woman about her tone, and she will tell you to kiss where the sun don't shine.
They'll be like,
no, the fuck you didn't.
yo, baby girl, soften the tone. Like, you're too aggressive.
No, the fuck you didn't.
I mean, I'm just asking you, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. If you change your attitude, you'll get the message across.
No, the fuck you didn't.
That's what we get every single time. Every single time. Dre Raven on the Sharpe stream side says, quote, softening the message is where tradcons, white pills run into difficulties. Women tune out their message. The red pill message pisses them off to no end. But guess what? 19,000 plus listen to Kevin Samuels every night, and a good percentage of those listeners are women.
Yep.
You better believe it. People don't listen to sugar-coated shit. They don't. You get the message across by telling them the straight facts. Straight facts, homie. Straight facts. Hell, if nothing else, hearing someone speak very plainly is, hell, it's not only is it more effective, it's more entertaining. It's more entertaining. It's that's the way it's always been.
Mm-hmm.
Edward Mason said, I watched this whole stream the other night. There were a lot of good-looking women who called in on that stream. I certainly hope you're not talking about this woman, Edward. Hope you're not talking about this woman. New Jordan Era, welcome to Chat Privileges. At New Jordan Era, to welcome him to the TSR family. We greatly, greatly appreciate your support. We do not take any of it for granted, guys. Welcome him to the family. A New Jordan Era, NJE, I guess I'll call you. If you would, put your age and location in the chat. This way, if one of us happens to be in your proximity, maybe, just maybe, we can sit down and have a beer sometime. This is how we build communities of like-minded men. Appreciate the support. New Jordan Era also says, Dr. Umar, I like the brother, but he gets on my nerves. I don't like Umar. I don't like him at all. I don't like him at all. He is blindly don't get me started. He's just like he allows his Dr. Umar Johnson allows his audience to dictate his message. Right. Dr. Umar Johnson allows his audience to dictate the message. There are some things that I've said on my platform that a lot of my most staunch supporters vehemently disagree with. That's okay. That's okay. You guys come here for confirmation, not affirmation. Right? Yes, I talk about things from a men-centric RP point of view. That is never not going to be the case. But just because I come from that point of view does not mean that I'm always going to take the side of men. There are a lot of situations where the man is at fault. There are a lot of situations where women really are the victims. Doesn't happen often, but it does indeed happen. And I'm never going to be the guy. I'm never going to be the guy who, no matter what, always takes the side of the man. Not doing that. Umar Johnson always takes the side of black people. And I think that is very, very dangerous. Just like women who always take the side of women, no, we got to hold each other accountable. The only people Umar Johnson holds accountable are the men telling black women what they need to hear rather than what they want to hear. Let's continue.
Is that accurate? Do you not? You disagree?
No, I agree. I think when you talk about the average black woman, though, does the average black woman really matter in this instance?
What?
Well, everybody can't be above it. You gotta meet people where they are.
Yeah.
The average means 50%. What are we gonna do with those people?
Uh-oh.
What do we do with those people? Are we only concerned with?
I'm throwing massive shade. I'm throwing massive shade at Rebel 5150 for living in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm also throwing shade on Michael Lance, who lives in Newport Beach. Listen, guys, if you live somewhere I want to, I'm going to throw shade. I'm hating. Stay tuned for hit pieces on Michael Lance and Rebel 5150 Exposed.
The top 10%, top 20%, top 30%. Well, what do we do with the average ones? And then how do you know?
Yeah, I mean, the average ones are the ones listening to your platform and getting upset.
Well, but are they the ones that need to change or improve?
Yep.
Go on, tell it, girl. Go on.
I think
So what are they upset with? So what are they upset with? The fact that my tone, my delivery.
Why are we focusing on that?
Because those men's lives matter.
Probably both.
But it's easier to focus on me.
Of course, because you're the one delivering the message.
Well, because that's human nature to deflect. It's human nature.
Look, I got nothing against this woman. You can tell. Listen, she's not upset. She's not upset. She's, listen, she's, hey, man, she's having a little back and forth with Kevin, and Kevin is, letting her know what's up. I don't think and I don't really sense any attitude or negativity from this woman. I think that she is parroting the things that she's been told all her life. And an articulate man who is not going to just bend over because she's a woman is telling her just like it is. And I don't think she has a problem with it. I really don't.
Should have blamed somebody else. You ever been caught in a speed trap?
Shit.
Driving?
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And did you ask the cop, but why didn't you pull that other car over?
I thought that, but no, I didn't ask him.
Yeah, but if you ask, he'd have said, yeah, that one was speeding, but I got you. Does it change the fact that you were speeding? No.
Right. Never.
So,
and the reason why she didn't say that is because she's black. Let's just be honest. Listen, I wouldn't. Dude, when the cops pulled me over, it's yes, sir, right away, sir, hands on the steering wheel, sir. I'm going to reach for my license, sir. I'm going to keep my other hand on the dash, sir. I have no weapons in the car, nothing that can stick you, sir. That instantly de-escalates the situation.
Ladies, the tone's not going to change. It's as moderate as it's going to get. It'll catch the.
Yeah, Ice Dragon Kid says she let it slip that she believes she's above average.
Nope.
I mean, she could be. She could be. Right? If she had another hairstyle or if she took care of herself a little more, yeah, she could, she could be above average. She's not a bad looking girl. It's just not, she's not above average.
People who are wanting to be caught. The women who don't want to be caught, they're still here too.
Oops. Uh-oh.
They're here and they're listening.
Don't tell them, Kevin. Don't be spilling these women's secrets now. Come on now, Kev. You going on these bitches every night. Every night. Chris RT on the Sharpe stream side says Umar is a scam artist and you know it. A lot of people say he is. I don't know enough about Umar Johnson to make that assertion. I always know what to expect from him. I always know what his rhetoric or talking points are going to be.
I honestly think far too many people today, I think, just want to have something to complain about.
Oops. Uh-oh.
But if you complain and you're doing something, that's one thing. But if you're not doing anything, it don't matter what I say.
Can't help you.
Appreciate it. Hold on. Hello?
He said, appreciate you.
Mr. Samuels, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Oh, Mr. Samuels, how are you? Uh-oh. I sense a little,
I'm good.
I sense a little C-thrim. Y'all know what C-thrim is, right? That's right. Cloak the hood rat in me. Let's run that back.
But if you're not doing anything, it don't matter what I say. Appreciate it. Hold on. Hello?
Mr. Samuels, how are you?
Hi, Mr. Samuels. How are you? How many times has that woman ever used that salutation? Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing well, sir. I appreciate you having me up here.
What do you got for me?
So I am a mother of 3 sons, and your content, like I told Dr. Johnson, has
I am a mother of 3 sons. So she's clearly off the dating market. Got it.
Made me a better parent. The question that I have for you, though, is what happened to the time frame when our young adults had to think about their place and who they were in the world? Like, I'm one of 3 girls, and at one point I was like, I don't think that I'm the attractive sister. So,
No, you don't say. But look, she doesn't have any control over the way she looks, at least in the face, right? Like, I'm never going to make fun. Listen, I'm never going to make fun of, she's clearly not overweight, right? But, okay, so she's not so easy on the eyes. All right, that's not on her. That's not on her. That's the way she was born. It is what it is. It is what it is. Listen, dude, I'll make fun of fat girls all day long because fat girls have control over their fatness. I'll make fun of fat dudes all day long because fat dudes have control over that. But if you're a woman who was born ugly, I'm not going to make, I can't, like, I'm not going to crack on something I'm not going to crack on something someone has no control over. And if there's some sort of genetic defect, whatever the case may be, that's not on her. So I find it disingenuous that people, he's balding. Like, he doesn't have any control over that. She's ugly. Well, listen, if she's overweight, then maybe you can make that assertion. But this woman not being easy on the eyes, it's not her fault.
how do I move forward accordingly? When did our kids stop doing that?
When did our kids stop? Make it a little bit more simple for me. When did our kids stop?
Assessing themselves in life, like I'm 18, I'm a 5.
River Bacon says, haha, why are you going to do her like that? Man, I'm not being mean. I'm not trying to be, I'm not making fun of the girl. Like, I'm being serious. I'm not being facetious. I'm not gonna make fun of anyone for something they have no control over. So
The things that you ask.
When we start giving 8th place trophies and participation awards and social probation.
Yep.
When we took competition out of schools.
Yep.
So like the 80s?
Well, not in the 80s, closer to the mid 90s. When we start going to this social promotion, participation trophy, everybody's equal, everybody get the shot. Competition is a way to gauge yourself, where you rank.
there you go.
When you were in elementary, did you participate in the spelling bee?
I did.
Yep.
Did you ever win one?
Nope. I didn't.
No.
And neither did I. And did you want to?
Of course we did.
Of course.
Right.
So did I. And the closest I ever got was probably like to the top, to the
30.
top 20% or something like that. Never got in the top 10. I was always gone. I was better. I went past the midway. But you know what that made me realize? You're not that great of a speller, Kevin.
There you go. Listen, I'll tell a quick story. Since before I can remember, I'd always wanted to be a Major League Baseball player. Always. Like, that was my dream. First, when I was a kid, I wanted to be an astronaut. Then after Top Gun came out in 1986, I wanted to be a pilot, a fighter pilot. An eye injury clearly disqualified me for that. But I was a very, very, very good baseball player. I was awesome. I made the varsity team at Mauna Loa High School as a freshman. I was that good. Me, 14-year-old Donovan Sharpe, playing with 17, 18, sometimes even 19-year-old men. And I belonged. My batting average was regularly in the 370s. I'd hit 6, maybe 7 home runs per year. My first year at Mauna Loa High School, 6 home runs, hit like 390. I was really, really good. I was a great center fielder. I was speedy. I was good. Well, we moved from Hawaii to Altus, Oklahoma. I made the varsity team easily. Coach Freeman, never forget him. I was easily one of the best players on the squad. Again, I'm a 15-year-old sophomore. On that team were a couple of seniors. I don't want to mention their names, but they were really, really good. One had already been drafted by the Royals, and I think one got drafted by the Mariners. One was a catcher, one was a pitcher. They were both really, really good. really good. And the pitcher who was drafted by the Royals, his name was Carl. I don't think I ever didn't not get a hit off of him. He'd strike out most, if not every single batter he ever faced in practice. Never got me out. I'd either hit dude, like, I was really, really good. I was like, dude, Carl, I don't want to say his name, cannot strike me out. I really am gonna go to the big leagues. Like, holy shit, I'm really gonna do it. Like, I'm actually thinking this as a sophomore in high school. I'm thinking, I really can make this happen. Until one fateful September afternoon at a tournament in Hobart, Oklahoma. So we played against Mangum High School. Mangum High School also had a sophomore superstar by the name of Braden Looper. You can Google him. He's a 2-time World Series champion. He won a World Series with the Marlins and one with the Cardinals. One of the better relief pitchers in the league for, I would say, the better part of six to maybe 8 years. His name is Braden Looper. This kid was 15 years old, threw 97 miles an hour. Now, Looper wasn't pitching that day. It was another guy. So we're spanking Mangum, Oklahoma all over the place. We have a 12-0 lead in the 6th or 7th inning. So in the dugout, we start chanting, "We want Looper, we want Looper." We all wanted the coach to come out and, hey, we want Looper. We're kicking your guys' asses. We want Looper. Bring him out. Braden was playing shortstop. Sure enough, coach comes out, taps his right arm, points to Looper. Looper is on the mound warming up. It's like the ball, he's a right-handed pitcher. It's like the ball disappeared from his hand and ended up in the catcher's mitt. I'd never heard anything like it. Carl Ballard, a senior, 18 years old, did not have anywhere near the stuff this 15-year-old kid, Braden Looper, who, by the way, at that point had thrown 6 straight no-hitters. That's how good this guy was. That's how good he was. Same age. So who's the first guy to hit against Braden Looper? That's right, this guy. And guys, I was excited because everyone knew Looper was definitely going to the bigs. We all knew he was. So I said, you know what? This is my opportunity to really, because, listen, I wasn't delusional as a kid. I was not delusional as a kid. I didn't play, it was clear that I didn't really play against the best competition in baseball. I mean, how many major leaguers come out of Hawaii? What, Benny Agbayani, the flying Hawaiian Shane Victorino? I mean, we got a few every once in a while, but Hawaii is not really a baseball factory. Hawaii is really more of a football factory. Guys like Marcus Mariota and Tua Tagovailoa went to St. Louis High School, which is a national football powerhouse. Baseball is not really a Hawaiian sport. Like, they play baseball in Hawaii, sure. But the reason I was really good is because the competition there just was not at the level that it should have been. So I step into the batter's box against Braden Looper. The first pitch he threw me, I didn't even see. Strike one, the umpire says. I'm like, holy shit, this kid throws really fucking hard. But I didn't get discouraged. I said, okay, I've seen his best fastball. I'm gonna be ready for it now. I made my mind up. I'm swinging no matter what. He throws another fastball right down the middle. I was ready for it. I fouled it off to the left side. It was left-handed hitter. I fouled it off. My hand stung on that bat like they'd never been stung before. I'd never felt anything like that. Bing! Ah! I dropped the bat. All my guys in the dugout, they're laughing at me, and I'm smiling like, Jesus Christ, what am I supposed to do? But I was encouraged. I said, okay. I took one fastball down the middle, strike one, just to see what it's like. Strike two, fouled it off. I said, all right. I've seen a couple of fastballs. He might throw me something that moves. It's 0-2. Probably is not even going to throw it into the strike zone. Probably won't even throw it into the strike zone. This kid's third pitch was the most wicked 12-6 curveball I'd ever seen. I gave up on the pitch as soon as he threw it. As soon as he threw the pitch, it's way up here. I'm like, psh. I literally almost stepped out of the batter's box knowing it was going to be high. Shoot, right at the last second. right at the last second. Breaks right toward the plate. Strike 3. I was out of there. My next 2 at-bats against Braden Looper, both strikeouts, both on 3 straight pitches. The only time I made contact off of Braden Looper was that second pitch foul ball. I was 0 for 3 against Braden Looper, and that is when it became clear to me that I probably wasn't going to play Major League Baseball, because this kid we all knew was going to go to the bigs. This is my time to shine. Like, if I really think I've got what it takes, then this is it. Braden Looper humbled me, and I wasn't distraught. I said, okay, well, looks like I'm going to have to find another career path. The point is, guys, is that in my generation, Generation X, we knew that there was a clear difference between winners and losers. You were either good or you were not. There's a lot in between, but by and large, we're very realistic with ourselves because we were forced to be. There's a field, you guys all remember field day in elementary school. That was great, but it was competitive. There were winners and losers. Not everybody got a fucking trophy. Not everybody got an ice cream sandwich. Oh no. To the victor go the spoils. Well, kids these days are not privy to that kind of competition. And that, in large part, is why this generation of kids is very soft, because they have no idea what it's really like to lose. They have no idea what it's really like to be defeated.
Very true. Okay. So I wasn't in the beginning, so I didn't get to say the 2 things that I questioned about what you say, if you don't mind. Right. You talk about the weight of women, and I agree with you. I used to be 330 pounds 15 years ago.
Damn! God damn! Wow.
And you are, to me, a bit dismissive about the reality of women being assaulted or abused.
Oh, here we go. I knew it was coming.
Inside of their marriages, because it's not like they can talk about it as freely as your platform.
Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Is she? Let's rewind that. So it is her assertion. That black women can't talk about how they are isubad in their relationships. Are you serious? That's all they talk about. Like, what is she talking about?
About the reality of women being assaulted or abused inside of their marriages, because it's not like they can talk about it
Stop the cap.
as freely as your platform.
Let's talk about one thing. Let's talk about one thing. We went from weight to assault. Pick. Okay. Can't do it. Which one is what?
I guess it's probably easier to talk about getting women to change their weight. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. You pick which one, but you just did 2 things, and I can't address.
Okay. The weight loss.
Okay.
Like
that was a big bitch.
I agree with you that our women need to be healthier because we.
Oh yeah, dude, I love field day. Those of you guys who are Gen Xers, dude, field day was the day. Like, yo, we were trying to win. Dude, I was in at 6th grade Hickam Elementary School in Hawaii. There were three 6th grade classes that they all knew were going to compete. There was Miss Tim's class. That was my class. There was, oh my God, what was his name? It was Miss Tim's class, Mr. Matsuda, and God, I usually remember all this stuff. It was Tim, Matsuda. Anyway, yeah, we took it very seriously. And we fucking won, goddammit.
Are the foundational health of our community. But you are dismissive of forms of being able to lose the weight, like weight loss surgery or whatever, because you imply that there's no discipline in doing that.
Say what? There's no discipline in doing the weight loss surgery. It's a surgery. There's no discipline in that. Hi, doc, I've tried everything. I need the lap band or I need the stomach staple. You know what they do? They end up needing another surgery because they end up making their stomach larger again. Like, what discipline does it take to get weight loss surgery? What is she talking about?
There's none.
There is.
Okay, hold on.
No, there is not. What the fuck is she talking about?
Hold on.
Okay, yes, sir. Sorry.
Robert Eliezer said 1992 tug of war champ here. No big deal. Nah, that is a big deal, homie. Real talk. Hey, man, don't sell yourself short, bruh. Don't sell yourself short. Come on now. Listen, a tug of war title, that's no small feat, man. No small feat.
There is no discipline in going to get a weight loss surgery.
Of course not.
Nope.
It's a surgical procedure. What is the relapse rate or the fail rate of women who? Let's go look it up. Look it up.
Uh-oh.
What is the rate of people?
Hemlar says bullshit. There isn't discipline in doing the weight loss. No, what he was saying, Hemlar, is that there's no discipline in going to get weight loss surgery. Yeah, Ice Dragon Kid says you can tell she listens to Umar. Yeah, exactly.
What is the rate of people who end up back overweight after bariatric surgeries or things like
All of them.
that?
Well, not all, but a high percentage.
I no longer know offhand, to be honest. I can say that I did it in 2007, but I'm not.
Okay, but my point is, it is bad enough to where people have to go in and get additional procedures. Why? Because healthy
Wow, Devin says 98% fail rate. God damn.
living is a lifestyle.
Yep.
The choices
There you go.
are made every single minute. Less
Hemlar says saying that is like saying there isn't discipline in lifting heavy weights. No, it's not the same. What he's talking about, Hemlar, is there's no discipline in getting the weight loss surgery. Keeping the weight off, that takes discipline.
sugar, less salt, less fat, more water, plant-based diet, exercise, cardiovascular, discipline. Going to get nipped and tucked jump starts the process, but if you don't have the discipline to change your diet, you're going to end up back in a similar position and or worse.
As Ostrike says in the on the YouTube side, says, I know one chick who got the stomach surgery. She's in the process of ballooning back up as we speak. Yeah, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. This is why on My 600-Pound Life, Dr. Now makes sure that they change their lifestyle before he gives them the surgery. Right? He said, okay, I'm going to give you 2 months, and in 2 months you should do 60 pounds in 2 months. And if you do 60 pounds in 2 months, I'll approve you for weight loss surgery. He is enabler. That's what Dr. Now does. Dr. Now Zarden. He requires, before I staple your stomach, I need to see that you can change your habits. Because Dr. Now is well aware of the fail percentage. And it's almost all of them.
Okay. And that was the thing that I needed to hear that I hadn't heard.
Dev says most doctors won't do the surgery unless the patient shows they can lose the weight on their own. I think that's what she means. Okay. All right. Okay. I guess... Yeah. Listen, if most doctors don't do the weight loss surgery until they show that they can actually lose the weight, then that makes sense. That makes sense.
You say before, because I agree with you that the surgery is simply a catalyst, it's a jump start, but you have to have discipline. And now our community lacks discipline. I agree.
I'm not a fan of surgery in the first place. Man, I'm a cancer.
Hello, how y'all doing? It's funny, you can tell Dr. Now I think is Iranian. And he lives in Houston, Texas, and you can always tell where a non-native English speaker learned English. Like, for example, basketball players. Dude, I remember when Dirk Nowitzki had just come. Dude, Dirk Nowitzki, Tony Kukoc, all those guys, and they have these heavy, thick, European, Lithuanian accents, and they're like, Dirk, tell us what it was like, playing your first time at Madison Square Garden. He says, we play well in front of the crowd. You know what I'm saying? And I said, let's go get turned up. And my boys was with me, and the coach was cool with it, and I was cool with it. I was just out there doing my thing, you know what I'm saying? And we did well. It's funny, you're like, okay, that guy clearly learned to speak English in the NBA. Well, Dr. Now clearly learned to speak English in Texas because they say, hey, y'all doing? But he says, hey, how y'all doing? Just a fun fact there.
Cancer survivor. We have too many people undergoing elective surgery for something surgery should be a last resort. You're not guaranteed to come out. But today, people are so, in my opinion, personal opinion, lazy that they will use surgery as a first option instead of changing their diet and doing the work. Let's be honest. You don't go to bed after a big meal and go from 125 pounds to 300.
No, you don't. Look at it. She's like, oh, no, you do not. No, you do not.
Process.
You have to give up on yourself first.
Well,
okay.
That's the honest truth.
But you have to watch it. You see it happen. My point is, it doesn't just happen. So
you feel me?
Not dismissive. I'm just not going to sit back and act as though women outweighing men is not a problem. You go back and
that's a serious problem. I wonder if women outweigh the men in the white community. I know women outweigh men in the black community. I wonder if they outweigh men in the white community. I'd be interested to find out.
Family album, and you look at your grandmother and the women before then, that's what you're supposed to be built like.
R.I.P. Red Pill, R.I.P. R.P. Mike. No, that is not Preach. I'm sorry. No, that is not ABBA. No.
I agree with you.
We can't argue. We can't argue with that. There's no European standard of beauty or none of that stuff. So, and what's the next part about the abuse?
Boy, shit's about to get real. The shit is about to get real. Not real, real. Michael N. Welcome to Chat Privileges. William Osborne, welcome to Chat Privileges. Isn't the Green Goblin, isn't his last name Osborne? Or am I mixing that up with the actor Willem Dafoe? Either way, Michael and William Osborne, at both of those guys, to welcome them to the family. We appreciate the support. If you guys would, put your age and location in the chat in case one of us happens to live in your neck of the woods. We can get together, maybe form a community. Lou Will 59, $5 super chat, says, hashtag recap GOAT. Appreciate that. Okay. Here we go.
It feels to me that
it feels to me.
It's a bit dismissive to be like to say that it's not happening to women or that women aren't being abused inside of their marriages and aren't.
Are you kidding me with this, man? Are you serious? So because this is a men's channel. See, this is the problem with women. They want men to talk about women's issues.
Nope.
Guess what? More men talk about men's issues. More men talk about women's issues than men talk about men's issues. Fuck out of here.
Able to leave immediately.
Who said that? Who said that?
It's not that you just said that. It's just that you did not. You say go to therapy, or you say, yeah, okay, there's a place for it. It's
ma'am. Hold on. No, you're missing.
So she says he's being flippant about it, or he's being dismissive.
No. You're convoluting things, conflating things. When women tend to talk about abuse, one of the first things I ask, why'd you end up getting a divorce, leaving your relationship? They say for domestic violence.
And then?
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then?
And I ask, were there police reports filed? What tends to be the answer?
No, but there's a reason for that.
Hold on.
No, but there's a reason for that. Well, hold on. What reason could there be? Sweetheart, if the Isuba is bad enough, there are more than enough immediate resources available to women right now that will help them get out of that situation. So now we're going to make excuses for women not going to the cops? Come on.
I don't care what the reason is.
Right.
And I'll tell you why I don't care what the reason is. This is the men's platform.
Goddamn right.
And I am advocating for men. because far too often women can simply say domestic violence with no proof.
Real talk.
And men pay the consequence.
That's right.
The reasons be damned. If it's big enough for you to walk out of your marriage, you should have slid by the police station.
There you go.
To at least put it in the court record. Now, what you ladies want to try to seem as though is everything is just such a critical situation where a woman needs to leave and she needs to have all these protections. And she
So then do it. All the women. You want to know why these women aren't reporting this domestic Duracell? Is because it's not happening. If your husband comes home and he beats your ass, you need to go to the cops. You need to call 911. My husband just beat me. Come and get him, please. Dude, they'll be at your place in Dude, 3 minutes later, they're banging on your door. Real talk. Dude, I was airing Devin out one night. Airing her ass out. When I got done, I go up, I go upstairs. I'm just getting ready. I see a couple of cop cars, like, pulling up, and out jump 3 6'5" dudes. I was like, damn, I wonder who they're here for. Guess what? I heard a banging on the door. So I go to open the door. These 3 big motherfuckers are standing right here in front of me. And I'm like, can I help you? They said, yeah, we got a call of domestic disturbance. And I looked at Dev I'm like, did you call them? She's like, no, I didn't call them. So they said, okay, just nobody say anything. They said, they asked Devin, they said, okay, you come outside with us, and then these 2 officers will stay in here with you. And I was like, all right. And they weren't really talking to me about anything. They saw pictures on the wall, they were like, oh, see, you guys went to Hawaii. I was like, yeah. We went to Hawaii back in 2016. I was showing them all kinds of stuff. I knew I wasn't guilty of anything, right? So then the officer brings Devin back in. He tells me to come outside along with the other 2 officers. And he says, so somebody called the cops because there was a domestic disturbance. They said that there was a possible physical isuba going on. I said, no, that's not what happened. I said, yeah, but I said, yeah, I raised my voice and, I banged the table a couple of times. I'm a boisterous guy, but, breaking your own stuff is not against the law. Is it, officer? They said, no. He said, so there's nothing. I said, no. I said, dude, look at my hands. Look at my whatever. Right? So they said, okay, well, have a good day, Mr. Hopkins, or have a good night, Mr. Hopkins. We'll see you later. Somebody called, and see, all of our neighbors know that I'm this big hulking black guy and Dev is this white girl. So they think some nigga is in there beating a white girl's ass. That's probably why they picked up the phone, right? And that's not the first time I'd ever had a knockdown, drag out. Well, not literally, but that's not the first time I've aired Devin out. But for some reason, someone felt it necessary to call the cops. And Devin told me when she got out there, she's like, look, and they kept asking her, are you afraid? Are you in danger? Blah, 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 blah. She said, no, I'm not afraid of my boyfriend. Look, I have no bruises. I'm not like I'm good. Like, fuck out of here. So they said, okay. And they asked her, are you afraid? Listen, just tell us you're afraid and we'll take him in. She's like, guys, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. All Dev had to do was say, I'm afraid. And they'd have locked my ass up. I'd have been gone for 3 days, at least 3 days. Real talk. The point is that women do get advocacy. Anytime a woman is in distress, all she has to do is say something. Doesn't even have to be to the cops. Be on social media, on her Facebook, Instagram, and everybody just rushes to believe her. So for this woman to sit here and say that what this woman is essentially saying is that Kevin Samuels, with his platform, is responsible for pointing out the plight of black men and black women. And to that, I say, fuck that. Get the fuck out of here. You kidding me? You want this dude to be Dr. Umar Johnson? No, fuck that. Fuck Umar Johnson. Fuck Creflo Dollar. You are not about to turn Kevin into those guys. Go on back to them, man. You ain't finna come in here and change Kevin's message. Fuck you think you are?
He's having to do all this stuff in the middle of the night, and that is not the norm. That's not it happens, but it's not the overwhelming percentage.
Nope.
And what also happens when I tend to ask about domestic violence, I ask, did you return fire?
They say yes.
Most women say yes.
Of course they
do.
do.
And then I ask about, what about you in emotional and verbal abuse? Yes. Where are the police reports? Men can't file those things. So my question is to you, why is it that men should just accept what a woman says without proof?
I don't think that they should. I just did an entire video on how we should do a better job of being loyal to our men. And
Double H says, I know Italians and Cubans talk very loud and are very animated with their hands. I mean, look, dude, I was throwing shit around. I broke a table.
The situations that are going on in the court system today, while I may I feel a certain way about what's happening or what R. Kelly and Bill Cosby may have done. They're still our men, and until the court,
but my
we have
point,
to give them.
So
we
when
have
you
to
say,
see
but
it in each other.
you're talking out of, okay, so I'm not clear because you.
So Wheezy Bird says, damn, that's it? Just saying you're afraid? Wild. Yeah. I mean, dude, I'm 6'2". At that point, I was probably, 230, 235. I got sleeve tattoos. I'm standing there with my shirt off. I've got a handcuff necklace on. Yeah. They're ready to take me in, man.
You said that I'm dismissive. And then you're saying that I don't understand.
I chose the wrong word. I think I should have said flippant. It just seems as though it's only a beat instead of it's a pause in a thing that should be longer. It's
negative.
The conversation should be longer.
No.
Is what I'm saying.
No.
I'm saying that when I hear women say that they left their marriage or relationship because of DV and there's no paperwork, I'm skeptical.
Okay. I can accept that.
See, again, what she says is, I think it's usually just a pause, just a beat, and then you move on. There are so many other. You know what? This reminds me. This reminds me of my debate with Guste Janis. This reminds me of my debate with Guste Janis. Guste wanted to say, hey, look, like, you should advocate for EPAR victims because 600,000 women were EPAR'd in 2019 and not advocate for the false victims of false EPAR reports. Here's that portion of the interview.
Little number. Why are we focusing on that?
Because those men's lives matter. They matter.
And so do the women who are being raped every fucking day. So I think that matters more, honestly. There's a larger percent of women being raped than there are men being falsely accused.
Okay, so because
focusing on the wrong issue.
Okay, no, I just want to make sure I'm understanding you correctly. So because more women are being raped than men being falsely accused, you're going to empathize more with the victims rather than the accused.
One is way bigger of a problem, and the other one is like these little tiny outliers that happen once in a blue moon.
So false rape accusations are outliers, statistical anomalies, you say?
Yes, they are. 0.8% of accusations are false.
Okay, so even if that were true, I'm not just going to turn my back on those false...
I'm not turning my back either. I said it right here. For anyone who has been falsely accused, my heart goes out for you. It's really fucking tragic, and it shouldn't happen to anyone. I'm not saying you don't matter. I'm saying that as men, your focus should be more on the women who are in danger versus the guys who are being falsely accused.
See, that's exactly what this woman was getting at. That's exactly what she was getting at. And
one is happening at an alarming rate. The other one is not happening nearly as often as you are mentioning it.
Women have far more advocates for all of their cause, for all of their causes.
That's not true. If
that
was
is absolutely.
True,
are you kidding me?
Would go to jail.
Say again?
If that was true, rapists would go to jail.
So you're telling me? So it sounds to me like you're telling me that if someone were to go outside my house right now and rape somebody, that they would get away with it. That's what you're telling me.
Most likely, yes. That is exactly true.
So you're telling me that most rapes that happen in America
Really, nigga?
are not prosecuted? Most men that truly do rape women are not punished. They're just allowed
Out
to
of
rape
1,000
women.
rapes, 994 men walk free and are not prosecuted.
Okay. And like I said before, and see, a lot of guys got on me. Oh, you should have challenged her on that. There's no need for me to challenge her on that. She was 1,000% wrong. I can't convince her she's wrong. As ridiculous a number as that is, 1,000 reported EPARs and 994 went free. Like, where did that come from? No. My intent was to show the world that she was arguing in either bad faith or just straight up ignorance. My heart goes out to those 994 women. But trust and believe, women have a lot more advocacy than men do. This is why channels like mine exist. See, there it is. She says not true. What is she talking about? She's sitting here telling me that I said women have much more advocacy than men. And she said not true. What, like, come on. That doesn't even make sense. She's not paying attention. I'm not doubting what you're telling me. I don't have all the statistics, but I do know this. There are enough false rape accusations to have gotten the attention of a lot of people. And I don't care if it's 0.8%. I don't care if it's 0.00008%. That's too many. 994 women
And
being raped. That's
600,000 women
994.
being raped in 2019 is too many. But I don't
600,000 women being EPAR'd in 2019. So let's do some math here. 600,000 women being EPAR'd, and that's, dude, I don't know where she got that statistic from. 600,000 divided by 365. That is 1,643 women who are EPAR'd every day. Every day. You mean to tell me 1,643 women are EPAR'd every day? Even if it were... I think where her numbers are coming from, they're coming from third world countries. I'd love to get her back on and get her to substantiate this 600,000 women were EPAR'd. I mean she lives in the United States. Let's talk about the women, and then she'll say, "Well, you don't care about women around the world?" Well, you don't care about men who are falsely accused of EPAR here in the United States, so why should I care about the women around the world? It's tit for tat. Tit for tat.
see you talking about that. I see you
I'm sorry,
talking
say that one more
about...
time?
I said 600,000 women being raped in 2019 is too many. But I don't see you talking about them.
You want to know why? It's because everybody else is. Very few people talk about the false rape. I'm not trying to weigh I'm not going to say that one is either better or worse than the others, but we have a lot more people are talking about rape victims than people who are talking about falsely being accused.
More often.
Say it again?
One happens more often. Why would you talk about something that barely happens when there's such a larger issue?
Look at my face. I'm like, are you kidding me? Look at this. I'm like, dude, are you serious?
At hand. 1 in 6 women are being raped. This is a fucking problem. No, there's 400,000 untested rape kits. That's a problem. Why are we focusing on the 0.8% of men who are falsely accused when we have better things to worry about?
Oh, better things to worry about. See, this right here, guys. This right, and listen, shout out to Goose Day. She stepped into the lion's den, and she's welcome to come back anytime. But why should we worry about the 48,000 men who are falsely accused of EPAR? Like, this is Malik says, let me know if you need me to reach out to her to get her on the show. No, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. Heather's in touch with her. We're trying to schedule her for another go around. But again, you guys can tell that I don't think she's arguing in, maybe she is arguing in bad faith. It just seems that she just doesn't know. What she's talking about is ridiculous. So there are better things to worry about than, yes. Okay, so 600. So let's do some math here. Listen, if that's what you think, I'm not gonna vilify you for that. That is what it is. So 600,000 times 0.08. So wait, that's 0.008.
That's yes, I did the math. So that's 45,000 false rape accusations.
times 0.08. That's 8%. That's 45,000 false rape accusations.
And then divide that by 600,000 and you get 0.8%. That's how many accusations are false. It's 0.8%, not even 1%.
Right.
Not even 1%.
Right. Not even 1%. You're right. That's a very small number. 48,000 is a very large number, or 45,000. That's a very large number. 45,000 men have been falsely accused of rape.
600,000 have been actually raped.
Okay. And so the 600,000 women have their advocates and the 45,000 men have ours. See, and again, I'm not, this is not a defeatist attitude. Women who are, I can't even imagine what that must be like to go through. But then again, going through a false rape accusation when you know you didn't do it, that's got to be bad too. I'm not saying either one is better or worse than the other.
Of course, 100%. I completely agree with what you're saying. False accusations are fucked up. And if you are falsely accusing someone of rape, you need to go to jail. Period.
Okay. And I think that if you accuse someone of rape, you got to have the proof.
I'm not sure what proof to get. If I don't have defensive wounds, what proof do I have? It's he said, she said.
And they're going to believe. And who are they going to believe?
Clearly not women, because 994 of them walk free every year.
Unbelievable.
So not women.
Okay. So you're telling me that if it's a he said, she said type of deal, right?
Yeah.
And they're walking free. Now, here's what we're leaving out. Okay. So there are a lot of false rape accusations, but you see, the false rape accusation that effectively ends a man's life, so to speak. If he doesn't have money or fame or clout, that ends his life, man. The Duke Lacrosse boys, Colin Finnerty, Reed Seligman, and David Evans, their lives were forever changed. They were forever changed. They had to go and change their names legally, right? And again, we know that they were not guilty, obviously, because of the whole DNA thing, right? But the point is that you have to have proof. Crystal Gail Mangum lied because she knew she'd get away with lying. And the reason why, now here's the thing, I'll agree with you on this. I guess the reason why rapes are on the rise is because you're telling me that most rapes don't get prosecuted. I guess that remains to be seen. I guess I'll have to do some research on that. But you want to know why why women continue to falsely accuse men of rape? Because they're not being prosecuted for falsely accusing men of rape. You see, when a man gets falsely accused of rape, he loses his job. A lot of times he loses his family. He becomes a public pariah. He's got to move, change his name, and he didn't do anything. Again, Brian Banks.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, it does. So again, wait, Brian Banks? You probably don't even know who Brian Banks is, do you?
No,
right.
I don't.
And again, listen, it's not slighting you. I wouldn't expect you to, because listen, you're a woman. You're focused on women causes, so you're more in tune with what women are doing. Well, I'm a man and I have male sensibilities, so I know who guys like Brian Banks are. I know who the Duke Lacrosse guys are. Oh my God, dude, Javonte. The list goes on and on. And so, as far as you're concerned, listen, man, I'm all for women being advocates for women who are raped, who do not get justice. If the rape kit's not being tested is really a funding issue, something's got to be done about that.
Yeah.
But I have chosen to be a men's advocate because there aren't enough men's advocates. There just aren't.
Oh, 100%. I think that, but here's the thing. It's just like, for example, when I was on Fresh and Fit, Myron is constantly saying showing your feelings and emotions, that's weak, and no one likes that, it's not attractive. But in order for women to understand the problems that men are facing, you guys have to talk about it. You guys have to speak about your emotions and your experiences with these kinds of things. It's an important discussion to have. And by men saying, if you show emotions and you're vulnerable, blah, 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 it makes men suppress these emotions, creating so much issues for men, because once you suppress emotions, that's trauma.
I don't know what men suppressing their emotions around women has to do with being falsely accused of rape.
We were talking about something else I don't remember. But.
Okay. Yeah, she just kind of got lost in the sauce there. But yeah, that's the main point. That's the main point. Women are taken at their word that these things happen. And when they're not, they don't know how to act. Wait a minute. If I said I was E-Part, I was E-Part. Where's the proof? Right? And I mean, Guste said herself, if I don't have defensive wounds, where else? I mean, what do you, listen, if you were EPAR'd, meaning you were forced to have sexual intercourse against your will, there will be defensive wounds. Then you get a rape kit done. And then she gave some documentary, well, 400,000 rape kits haven't been tested and this and that and the other. So her argument was that most men who commit the crime of EPAR get away with it. And that's not even close to true. Yeah, Stephen Ortiz says, don't forget the Brooklyn Five. Yeah, the jogger case. The jogger case. God almighty. Antron McCrae. Man, who were the jogger five? Corey Wise. Raymond Santana. That's 3 out of the 5. But, yeah, right. But this woman wants to sit here and complain that Kevin is being flippant about women saying they're victims of domestic Duracell. Okay.
I'm skeptical based upon too much case law and too much evidence.
Ooh.
All right.
Okay. Thank you. We're in agreement. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right. Bye-bye.
Too much case law and too much evidence. Real motherfucking talk. Dre Raven says, I said it before and I'll say it again, there's nothing more to Guste's story there. There's something more to Guste's story there. It is my opinion that her vehemence is coming from something in her past or that over someone close to her, she is lashing out over pain and not thinking logically or fairly. I agree with that. Malik says she failed to realize that because of false accusations, it becomes harder to believe women who are actually EPAR'd. There you go. There you go. That's exactly right. Hellfong says, I checked the FBI crime stats, and she's not even close. Yeah, I don't know what she's talking about, man. I have no idea what she's talking about. I mean, like, her stats were just so out of this world. Ridiculous. Hemilar says, funny, I did the math. Feminists say that one of every 4 women get EPAR'd in the U.S. Another thing that is a fact that women outnumber men 2 to 1. So there's about 200 million women that could potentially be EPAR'd. So that is allegedly 50 million women allegedly being EPAR'd. There were only 600 to 700,000 cases presented to the police in 1 year. That's less than 1%, and 45,000 of all of those cases may still not be much when you compare the percentages more often than men being falsely accused than women actually getting EPAR'd. There you go, man. There you go. Dre Raven says, I know a chick who spouts this kind of myopic shit. According to her former live-in boyfriend, statutory EPAR'd her 15-year-old daughter. And she has the same vehemence and lack of concern over falsely accused men. Unbelievable. No, that woman is pissed. That woman is pissed off because her boyfriend chose her daughter over her. That's what that was. That's why she said statutory, right? Okay, let's continue. If I can find it. There we go.
Yeah, and I think that women should feel that way too. You got sons, you got brothers. Women shouldn't just be able to say something happened and it'd be all right.
Real talk.
Hello.
Hi, how old are you?
I am 43.
Woo,
Hi.
43.
What's your question?
My question to you is, how often do you take into consideration the plight of the woman, black woman?
It's a very nebulous question. I think I take into consideration the plight of the black woman every day I get on this.
Uh-oh. What else you got?
The conclusion to everything is that you do have a way of bringing the message out. It's very unique. And a lot of people just don't know how to receive it. I was having a discussion. I'm in a women's group. And I had spoken to someone and she told me the way I spoke to them, she didn't like it. And I said, everybody's saying that we can't do this. I do speak to a lot of women who don't like to be told about themselves.
So what's that got to do with anything?
I have been a woman who's done a lot of work on myself. I had to go and do a lot of introspective work. And I've been listening to you for a while, and I have a lot of conversations about you. I do respect you.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't.
No, that's not Dennis Rodman, Roscoe Johnson.
I guess I don't have a question. I guess that was a question.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Straight, you ready? It's a fastball. Why should black men have to take the black woman's plight into consideration?
Oh, uh-oh.
I think because we all should take each other's plight into consideration.
Oh, yeah. Now listen to this. Listen to this. We should all take each other's plight into consideration. When the fuck have black women ever given a shit about the plight of black men? Oh, I remember back in the 60s, before black women bought into feminism. So now we're talking, what, 50, 60 years? Black women don't give a fuck about the plight of black men, and I'm not here to complain about it. But don't then ask us to give a fuck about your plight.
I do know that men have been missed, and I do understand why you are
Well, there we go. There we go. So what's the problem?
bringing forth the information that you bring forth, and you're like a highlighter to things. And
If you had to say whose plight has been more considered in the last 50 years, would you say it's been black women or black men out of the two?
It's been black women because
There we go.
of the way they've been able to get in on different.
So when men are often asked, do we take into consideration the plight of the black women? It's like, when is it going?
Yeah, DJ Berserk says, I'm back at the beginning, didn't get my notification, had to resubscribe. Yeah, YouTube is playing games with my sub counts again, guys. They're taking subs away from me. Yeah. But just make sure you subscribe, resubscribe, and subscribe again.
To be enough or our turn?
Dr. B84 says black women do not care about black men's plight. Hashtag
Nope.
It's like we can see observably black women have had far more of their issues addressed than black men.
And that's exactly what I told Goose Day.
Even down to the boy level. Black boys are reading at the fourth grade level. The plight of black boys, the next group of men, is horrible.
It is.
But it seems to be that we're always ready to take the women's plight into consideration, but yet we don't talk about the men. How about this? When will black women be ready to focus on black men 100% and on them 0%?
I believe.
Philip Zimmerman, $2, says, is it weird how much your women trash you all? I don't really know what you're talking about. You got to be a little bit more specific there, Philip. It's going to have to be a little more specific.
To balance the scale, to catch us up.
Unless, of course, you're asking a question in the form of, you're making a statement in the form of a question.
Well, there's been
See that? She ain't never thought about that before. Look, check it out.
I believe
To balance the scale, to catch us up. Be ready, but yet we don't talk about the men. How about this? When will black women be ready to focus on black men 100% and on them 0%?
I believe
to balance the scale, to catch us up.
Well, there's been a lot of disappointment. There's been a lot of disappointment on either side.
No, see, here she goes. What she's trying to do is she is trying to equate black men with black women. Nah, man. Nope. False. False. See, what she's trying to do is she's trying to split responsibility. Okay, yeah, the black community is fucked up, but we've both fucked up. Wrong.
From both sides, and I'm talking about from down in the gutter of the hood all the way up to the highest class of persons.
I get it, disappointment, but
there we go. So you guys are saying black women trashing black men. He's talking about black women. No, he said, how weird is it how much your women trash you all? I mean, black women talk all the time about how white girls are taking their men, and our response is, we don't belong to y'all. We're not your men any more than they're our women. So that's why I asked him to elaborate or specify, because it doesn't really say much. Is it weird how much your women trash you all? I don't know. You got to be more specific, Phil. You got to be more specific here, buddy. I mean, I'll answer your question, but I need more information.
Democracy still reigns. You're still, even in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king.
There you go.
You're still on top, even in the hood.
There it is.
What I'm basically asking is, when are black women going to start considering the black man's plight above their own?
Never. And you want to know something? At this point, I don't care. I mean, listen, maybe that makes me a bad person. I don't give a shit. Dude, I don't need any woman to care about the plight of men. I don't need black women, white women, Hispanics. I don't need women to... We don't need women to care about our plight. We don't. We have proven as men that we can do it without chicks. We can do it without women. We don't need female advocation to push our goals and agendas forward. Shout out to William Osborne with the $10 super chat. Says, great content. Keep the truth flowing. You know it.
Including their brothers and sons.
I do believe that even going all the way back into slavery that we did.
Basil Denson, $2, says this woman is dangerous. Talking about Goose Day. Yes, she is. And I've said that before.
That's where the pimp and hoe game came from. Let's just be clear and honest.
What happened?
It's where the pimp and hoe game was born at.
The pimp and hoe. So now she's going to blame the deplorable state of black women on slavery. Here we go.
Men not being able to work.
I get it, but we're in 2021. I'm not going back to slavery. I'm going to say, when are women?
I wanted to finish with the pimp and hoe thing. It's kind of gotten to a de facto pimp thing, like where men have come into homes and left it off of the corners, and now they're in homes trying to do things to women's minds. And
hold on.
Do things to women's minds. Okay, fair enough. But women aren't trying to do things to men's minds. Women aren't trying to do things to men's minds. Listen, this woman is right. We got some modern day pimps out here who run circles around these hoes psychologically. They are psychologically superior. They know what to say, how to frame it, etc., etc. But more women do this to more men. I said that to Jen when I debated her on the Lead Attorneys podcast. I said, look, man, yeah, men do shit on women, but women shit on men a lot more than men shit on women. Women shit on men as a matter of habit. Like, what the fuck are we doing, dude?
Hold on. Men are doing what?
They are bringing, like, you know how a pimp is just a pimp. They just admit it. They admit that they are who they are. And so there's a game to that. And then there's the square world. Now, when you
what are men
doing? The square ones, huh? Uh-oh. Look. You let them talk long enough. Eventually, they tell on themselves.
There are certain men. I'm not going to say all men because I do respect a lot of men, and I do have a lot of respectable men in my life. So I will not just.
So why are you single at 43? I'll wait. Yeah, I didn't think so.
Try to bash men.
What are men doing?
There are certain men on an average level, because I know you say a lot of men.
What
women
are
don't
men
wanna
doing?
date average men. Listen, you said a lot of women don't want to date
I
average
need you
men,
to
right?
get to what men
These
are doing.
average men. I want you to be clear. I want to be clear on which men I'm speaking about. There are certain average men that will go into a woman and they want to know how many degrees they have. They actually want to know how much money they make.
What?
And they want to kind of get the woman to support them.
That's not an average man. That's a pimp. That's what that is. Like, what kind of niggas is she dealing with? Like, real talk. Yeah, Roscoe Johnson says she dates pimps. Yeah. That's why she's 43, single with 3 kids. Likely by 3 different niggas. Fuck out of here, man.
But there are men that do this.
Hold on, ma'am. Hold on. Nope. Now we got a problem.
What's the problem?
Uh-oh. He said, now we got a problem. Oh, boy. Mexican man and cheese. That's awesome. $5 says, women consider themselves more empathetic than us, but have zero availability to look at our struggles. The empathy only goes as far as the nearest woman. You're right, but I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
Break it down.
Because you come in with that same old bullshit.
Oh!
54% of black men are single and childless.
Yep.
50 freaking 4. 61% are in the middle class. 30% are married. We got 80% of our children being born outside of the bonds of marriage. That means, by the math, 54 and 30 is 84. 80% of the kids are being born to 16% of the man. So if you letting the man come in, it's because you're overlooking the lion's share of the men that you should be looking at. So if you get pimped, you shouldn't be a hoe.
Oh! God damn! Holy, hold on. Yes, sir. Woo! Oh my God, look at her. Mouth wide the fuck open. Where? Right at $5 says her voice is raspy as fuck.
Yep.
You know it. Casual Germ says she got that Newport voice. Yes, she does. Yes, she does. Look at her. She can't believe it. Kevin said, if you don't want to be pimped, don't be a hoe. She said,
no, the fuck you didn't.
Street Fighter 88 says, because
She belongs to the streets.
Oh, no, I'm talking about in the community that I've seen when I was growing up. I've seen a lot of men go after women because of what they had.
So
I'm not saying
the women went out. Okay, men went out the women because of what they had, and the women accepted them.
There were a lot of women I saw accepted.
Women
There you go.
accepted them.
namely you.
And I think that's where the
Co Fitch says,
balance,
No,
the imbalance.
but I need to hear you say that though.
uh-oh.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm right, but the thing is, one of the things that happens in one of the things in our communication that tends to happen is when the man is right, y'all tend to just slide on past.
Yep.
Just like free going around Monopoly, sliding by free parking, getting your $200. No, you need to say, yeah, women accepted them. They looked over the squares, the bus drivers, the plumbers, the factory workers, and went for the swagged out whatever with the kids.
The niggas. Kevin, just say it. The niggas.
That's what they went for.
Yes.
Women control
so
who
true.
gets laid and gets born.
Right.
So who you sleeping with and what they do is up to you. Whose kids you have is up to you as a woman.
Right.
Young J 216 says flawless victory. That was a TKO salute.
You win. Perfect.
Appreciate that $20 super chat from Young J 216. Marcus B28 says, God damn, I fell on my seat. Kevin verbally KO'd this chick. Yes, he did. Holy God.
But I believe that's why some of the women that you speak with on the platform don't want to go for men like that, and they're in that masculine energy with
Go for men like what? Go for men like what? Go for
the
men like
average
what?
men that you're saying that they should, look at, like the $20 an hour men and things like that. I think that's probably where the imbalance is all I'm saying. But the men that you're speaking about and the women, the generational gap, the older men that are Henrys and that are rich, And then the younger
Slapduck says, I wonder how many boards she gets per night. I'm told she averages 5.2 rebounds a game, actually.
women, I do like that you're speaking to the younger women because we weren't taught in that way. I do agree with those things. Like I said, I just think there could be more sensitivity taken into consideration.
Say what? More sensitivity? Bitch, what the fuck you think this is? Ralph Tresvant? Ain't nobody giving y'all no more sensitivity. We tried that. That shit didn't work. And now that y'all are all used up, all pimped out, you want to come back to the square ass niggas, the niggas you wouldn't give a time of day to. Well, we need more sensitivity. Nah, you want sensitivity? Go to Ralph Tresvant. He's got all you need. You ain't getting some shit. You ain't getting that shit from us.
Some women just weren't taught the right way. And men weren't taught the right way either. I think on either side.
Uh-oh. See that? See that? Kevin got loud. And so Tevin's got to make an appearance. That's it. Listen, Kevin tried to be nice. He tried to be nice. He tried to be nice. But now she's done fucked around. She's done fucked around. And summoned Tevin.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Okay, this is my show.
Real talk. So now she's got to deal with Kevin on one side and Tevin on the other. You did it to yourself, boo. Did it to yourself. Let's see how this goes.
No sensitivity, no consideration. You've had enough. It's our turn.
What about on either side, though?
There it is. You've had enough. It's our turn.
No, not on either side. What? It's our turn.
Yes.
You've had enough.
Yes.
It's like being thirsty, and we all outside running and drinking, and you sitting at the water fountain. Move your goddamn out of the way. I'm thirsty too. You've had 50 years. It's enough.
Damn.
Man, this is not Burger King in the 90s, okay? You can't have it your way.
Real talk. Real talk. Y'all had it your way for 50 fucking years. It's our turn now.
Ladies.
About the women who just weren't taught well.
That's not our problem, boo. What, I'm supposed to feel sorry for you? Like, what's that got to do with me? What about the women who weren't taught right? What am I supposed to do? Teach you? Nah, fuck that. Nah, listen, maybe if you were 23 rather than 43 at that point, if you ain't got no kids, if you ain't been ran through by a bunch of pimps and johns at that point, maybe you have some potential. But sweetheart, you are long in the tooth with short hair and 3 children by 3 different pimps. It's a wrap. Your lack of education is not my problem. Not my problem. Malik says Tevin and Kevin Samuels versus the 96 Bulls. I got Kevin and Tevin 4. Real talk. Real talk. I got Kevin and Tevin in 4. Real shit. All day. Undefeated, baby. Undefeated. Shit, Kevin and Tevin taught the bad boy Pistons how to play. That's why Michael Jordan had such a hard time getting through them niggas. Shout out to Isaiah Thomas, the realist. Bill Laimbeer, Dennis Rodman. Vinny, the Microwave Johnson.
Not my problem. Not men's problem.
Oh my goodness. The dude, oh my God.
I'm out of the way.
Kindred
I'm
spirits.
thirsty too. You've had 50 years. It's enough. Ladies.
About the women who just weren't taught well.
What?
This is you, man. This is you. Sucking up everything but this knowledge.
Tell her, Tevin.
Not my problem. Not men's problem.
Uh-oh.
You've had enough. See, what I keep asking is when are men going to be considered? And when it's time for men to be considered, then we all got to be considered. That's how this shit works.
Nah, fuck
it's either
that.
black girl magic or we got to share. No, black boy magic, black men magic.
Oh, shit. Kevin's going in. Holy shit.
Y'all had enough.
And I do believe
Consider
that
the men. Consider the men. Because the men you're talking about, who are the average men, such and so forth, are the invisible Ralph Ellison men that you can't even really define, but they're the 54% that are single and childless that should be the husbands.
God damn.
right.
There it is.
So if women are going for the 16%, making 80% of the kids with them, why do we need to give consideration? We need to say, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Go have kids over here with a man who can pay for them.
Real
versus
talk.
being 1 out of 5 over here. You know, in Memphis, they had, 3 men had 84 kids? You want consideration?
3 men had 84 kids. When I heard that, I couldn't believe it. So I had to go look it up. I had to go look this shit up for myself. And believe it or not, y'all, this was actually true. Check this shit out. Check this out. Tennessee's deadbeat dads, the 3 men who have fathered 78 children with 46 different women, and they're not paying child support to any of them. I can't imagine they would. Can't imagine they would. The article continues. It says, 3 men in Tennessee have notched up a staggering 78 children by 46 different women between them, and are doing their best to squirm out of paying for a single one. Terry Tunage has 23 children with 17 different women, while Richard M. Colbert has 25 children with 18 different women. But Desmond Hatchett takes the record with 30 children with 11 different women. This dude is having 3. This dude is damn near. This dude has put babies in 11 women. So each woman has had damn near 3 of his kids. The article continues, on rare occasions, they pay a few dollars for the long-suffering mothers, but mostly leave the state to pick up the slack, while one eludes his responsibilities altogether thanks to a stint in prison. The latest deadbeat dad to emerge from the state is Tunage, who was summoned before a judge over child support. Hang on a second. Over child support payments for his 23 kids by 17 different women. Dude, how is this even possible? How is this even... I'm going to lower the microphone so I can work on this camera here. 23 kids by 17 different women. Unbelievable. But didn't show up. This is insane. Oh, there he is. Verrill, Desmond Hatchett left, who has 30 children by at least 11 women, while Terry Tunage Wright has 23 kids by 17 women. They're both trying to get child support payments lowered. I mean, for real? For real? Unbelievable. One of the mothers, who had spent nearly 8 years with Tunage, said her knees buckled when a prosecutor told her the father of her child had 20 other children. During the whole relationship, I knew of only 4 children, LaToya Shields told WREG at the time 3 years ago. My child was the 21st child, she says. Yeah, that would be overwhelming for anybody. Last month, Tunage filed a petition at the Shelby County Juvenile Court. Oops. God damn it. To lower his child support payments for the mothers of his children, but never turned up to the hearing. Shields says the virile dad has shown little interest in his daughter. She calls him, and it's hi and bye, see you later type of situation, she says. LaToya Shields. She added that he hardly even ever pays child support, but when he has, the checks have been between $6 and $9, as he is likely splitting his earnings between all 17 women. The meager sums come despite the court ordering Tunage to pay Shields $259 a month for their child. But she said she does not expect to see that sort of money. The most prolific dad is 33-year-old Desmond Hatchett of Knoxville, who has 30 children by at least 11 different women. Last month, he asked the courts to give him a break from paying for him. It is little surprise the virile dad is unable to pay up. He's been in and out of prison for the past 3 years, during which time he has somehow reportedly fathered another 9 children. Oh my God. What? Oh, shit. He's got some strong swimmers. I'm trying to tell you. He was sentenced to 6 years in prison for aggravated assault, but most of the term was suspended for, quote, enhanced probation, which he promptly violated by getting arrested for domestic Duracell. Hatchett now remains behind bars in the Morgan County Correctional Complex. and has lost 2 parole bids, according to the Smoking Gun. When Hatchett was earning minimum wage salary, legally half of his paycheck was seized by the state every month to pay for his scores of offspring, who are all under 14 years old. Depending upon the ages of the children, he should have been paying anywhere between $25 and $309 to the mothers of his children. Dude. But in reality, his paycheck only allowed a paltry $1.49 per child. He told Fox2Now.com where it all went wrong. I had 4 kids in the same year twice. Oh my God. Yo. But he does manage to remember all of their names, ages, and birthdays. That's actually quite impressive there for Mr. Hatchett. Hatchett first appeared in court on missing child support charges in 2009 when he had 21 children. He said he would not father any more, but has had 9 more in the past 3 years. Fuck! I didn't intend to have this many. It just happened, he said. In his latest court appearance last month, 11 women were seeking child support payments from the man who has set a Knox County record for his ability to reproduce. Following in close pursuit is Richard Colbert, who has 25 children by 18 different women, but Colbert claims he doesn't have to pay for a single one, as they are all adults. And he added he feels lucky. Everyone's not able to have children, he told Action News 5. Another man in the state, another man in the state said he bears the brunt of Colbert's poor choice. The unfortunately named Richard A. Colbert is inundated with calls from women and children demanding child support. I'm constantly receiving phone calls from people who know this man. They're trying to get in contact with him, Richard Colbert said. Attorney Warren Campbell told Action News 5, if a person does not pay child support, the state ends up paying, and there is no legal way to stop people from having children. I don't think I have ever heard of anything like that in my life. Holy fuck.
Consider the men. That's what every other race does. The women consider the men first. In our community, we want the men to always be on the lookout for what's going on with women. Consider the women. Consider the women. No.
I do believe it's on how you're raised too.
Whatever.
I was raised. I mean, with the men, I've seen men that were raised very well, had good father figures, and they turned out well. I see men that didn't have father figures and
how do you get a better black community if you don't build and birth competitive black men?
Right.
You don't, Kevin.
If you have 4 children, 3 daughters and a son, and you can send one to college or for
EW444 says that guy's the raw dog king.
improved resource training and outcomes. Who do you send?
Say it.
The son.
There it is.
Why did it take so long?
There it is.
No, it didn't, because I already knew the answer. And I thought you were going to answer.
But my thing is,
I know you.
But it's not me. It's not me, ma'am. It's what every other group does. They focus on the men because the men are the builders and the revenue producers. And in our community, we focus the resources on the women.
That's right.
The women, the attention on the women, always about the women, and we need to focus it on the men. Giving the consideration to women has got us where we are.
Woo!
Last. Broken.
And broke.
Floundering.
And broke.
We need to put attention on the men, the boys. Forget the men. Forget the men who are your age. What about the boys? The ones under 18. What are we doing to give them? Where's Black Boy Magic? Where's all the resources for the boys? And not meaning asking the men to come back and mentor these boys.
Look, you see that? That's defeat. That's defeat in their face.
It's asking a single childless man to come mentor 16% or 16% of kids, because 30% of the kids got daddies.
Yes, sir.
Asking 54% of the men to go mentor 16% of the children, go mentor kids that are coming from 16% of the men is untenable. You need to be with these men.
This is incredible. So 16% of men in the black community are fathering 80% of the children. That's incredible, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I'm really not.
And then mentor the boys. I'm going to say something that's going to be real controversial.
Uh-oh.
We need to start taking resources from the women and giving them to the boys.
No, the fuck you didn't.
Damn.
Or else
That
we
would
go
be-
nowhere.
Yeah, and that could be done through programs and things being created for them. If the concentration.
But in order for
Yeah, but we all know that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Like, the government is going to say, okay, let's take resources away from women and give them to men.
In order for that to happen, women must voluntarily give up preferential treatment.
Ooh.
And that,
Kevin, that's not going to happen, bro.
is not likely to happen.
There it is.
Well, I'm grateful you are sounding the alarm, Mr. Samuels.
Well, the thing is, I asked women, just like Jordan Peterson was asked by Kathy Newman. So do women have a responsibility in helping men? He said, well, it depends. What kind of mate do you want? Do you want an overgrown child, or do you want someone to contend with, someone to help you? You cannot start asking men to be something they were not raised to be.
Bingo. Bingo. And that's my main contention with guys like Steve the Dean Williams. Love Steve to death, but Steve is constantly preaching, gotta be a man, gotta be a man, gotta be a man, da 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 da. Yes, we have to hold men accountable for the things that we learn, but Steve tends to hold men accountable for shit they've never been taught. That's what this woman is doing here. But then when the women weren't taught correctly either, it's the pimp and the hoe game from back in the slave days.
That's the problem. We're asking men to be something after 18 that they didn't get between 0 and 18. Unrealistic.
It is.
Thanks, though. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Get your black. Get off my line.
That's it. That's a wrap for her. That's a wrap. Wow. Wow. Like, listen, man, like, I mean, she's another casualty. She's a statistic, is what she is. She is a statistic. Pine, Ohio, with the looks like 15 Israeli new shekels, roughly $5. Appreciate the super chat. Kofich, $5 says, that's rich. Her dismissing, quote, squares and average black men. I used to be ignored and called Oreo and Steve Urkel. Women like her all did this. Kofich, if you can believe this, so was I. So was I. Dude, they called me Steve Urkel. They called me Carlton. They didn't believe both my parents are black. It was ridiculous. Lou Will, $59, $5 says, oh, you got to go back to using the Mario Castle music with some BS as brewing. You know what? I think I might actually start doing that. I think I might actually start doing that because that's a good. That is a very. It's a very good background sound. Hang on a second. Is that the one you're talking about? And then when the shit hits the fan? I think I'm going to go back to that. Because that was one of the better. That was definitely one of the. One of the better sound effects. Definitely one of the better sound effects. Mexi Man and Cheese, $5 says, do you know what episode it was recently where Kevin said, average earning men, you're not worthless. Didn't realize I'd never heard that until I did. I don't know what episode that is, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I do not know what episode that is. I don't know. I'll look back in the archive, see if I can do a little bit of a research. You guys know how that goes. Rebel 5150, $10 says, I wouldn't trust none of those ninjas to pull out of a driveway. Yo. Like, my nigga was the raw dog king. Like, real motherfucking talk, dude. Like, real fucking talk, fam. Like, real talk. I was like, yo, what the hell? Here we go. That's a little too loud. There we go. There we go. Very good. All right, I got you covered. Got you covered. Lou Will 59. Bring back the Mario Castle. Yeah, I agree. Dude, yo, man. Ice Dragon Kid says, haven't seen a beatdown that bad in a while. Well, buckle up, because another one is coming. Let's continue.
Good night.
All right. Good conversation, though. You're right. I mean, we got to start putting resources towards the boys.
Yes, sir.
Nephew, hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can. How old are you?
I'm 30. I'll be 31 this November 2nd.
No problem at all.
What's the disagreement of the issue?
I actually
Danger zone.
We have a male friend that I just started talking to. He actually put me on to
A male friend I just started talking to. Translation. It's a guy I'm fucking. It's a guy I'm fucking. That's really what it is. That's really what it is. Right? Like that's when even my sister, yeah, I'm talking to this dude. I'm like, you know, like this is me. Like I know talking is fucking.
your video tonight, actually. So I have a couple of questions. One being, I hear a lot in your videos, you talk about the 16% male that women are running towards more so. My question is, if we're in like a dating aspect where you meeting a guy or you meeting a woman, first off, all you see is looks on the outside, right? So isn't it to an extent a little bit cliche to say that, well, you women are picking the same men when you don't really get to know that man? You know what I mean?
No, the 16% is who you having
She's mischaracterizing the question.
babies with.
But I mean, if we're not marrying the 16%, then obviously I'm gonna put that in the narcissist, the uneligible, the
No.
So if 16% of those men fathering 80% of the children are not married, then they're not eligible to me. Huh, interesting. Interesting. The mothers of the 80% of children seem to think they are.
You're conflating things. 54% of black men are single and childless. 30% of black men are married. 80% of black children are born outside of wedlock.
Mm-hmm.
So by deduction, 80% of children are born to the remaining 16% of men. You're not getting pregnant as soon as you see somebody.
So that 16% of male, that's not the uneligible, because I didn't hear you say anything about
Uneligible for what?
To date, to marry, to
they're having kids with them. If you're having a baby,
like to date, to marry. So these men are not eligible to date or marry, yet they're steady shitting out these niggas' kids. Dude, stay the fuck out of Tennessee. Stay the fuck out of Knoxville, Tennessee. Because I promise you, yo, don't get near these niggas. Like, these niggas will look at you and get you pregnant.
with them, why are they not eligible?
If you're having a baby with them, that doesn't make them eligible, though.
So why? Oh, if you're having a baby with him, that doesn't make him eligible, though. There you go. So why lay down with him if he's not eligible? Why, if this ain't shit nigga is uneligible, why are you letting him skeet all up in you? Why are you taking the kids instead of swallowing the kids and then having his kids?
Well, then that's your problem. Okay, well then whose problem is that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it's anybody's problem.
Oh, it is somebody. No, it is somebody's problem.
Yes, it is.
If a woman is having a child with a man who's not eligible, whose fault is that?
So none of in that 16%.
If a woman is having a child with a man who's not eligible, whose fault is that?
And we're not
Okay, she's not even, she didn't want to answer the question.
counting.
If a woman is having a child with a man who's not eligible, whose French toast fault is that? What the French toast?
But we're not.
If a woman is having a child with a man who is
Right, I know that. I heard.
whose fault is the fact that she chose a man who's ineligible to make a baby for? Whose fault is it that she chose a man who is ineligible to make a baby with?
But what I'm telling
Whose fault is it that she chose a man who is ineligible to make a baby with?
Are we not counting?
Whose fault? I'm going to ask one last time, and I'm going to move the F on. You're not going to go past this question. I've said it 7 times. Please understand, I expect an answer.
Right, and I'm about to give you one. But
Whose fault is it? Don't give me a preamble. Just tell me, man or woman. Get off my phone. Whoever put you on, sir, whoever you are, leave her alone.
Look at her. She's still talking.
If a woman can't follow simple goddamn instructions to a basic mother flipping question, what is the point? You're talking to nobody, man. Nobody can hear you. Put your bonnet on your head.
She did not. You want to know something? Look at her. She's still talking. Look at her. Still talking.
Not the bang. The bang. Oh, 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 oh. Fuck no, not the bang. The bang. Oh, 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 oh. Fuck no. Stop talking.
You understand yet? You don't get to just do what you want to do here.
The reason why she didn't answer the question is because she knew the answer. She knew the answer.
You either answer my question or I bid you a good night. But you're not.
It's so blank. Get off my line.
You're muted. I've said it before. You're muted. You're muted. I'm gonna use it one way or another. And you wonder why so many of our women can't get from A to Z.
There you go.
It wasn't a trick question, people.
Nope.
It was a simple request of whose fault is it that a woman had a child for an ineligible man. That's all it was. And she's still talking. You're still talking, lady. I want you guys to see this woman is still talking. Look at her. She's still talking. Look at her. She's still talking.
Stop talking.
Look, the bitch is still talking.
Winter is coming.
Still.
Uh-oh. That's it. That's it. Can't nobody hear her talking. She's steady talking.
What? I am a strong, independent woman.
Wow.
I told you. What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you? 'Cause I told you. And when did I tell you? A long time ago. And what did I say would happen when I told you? Exactly what just happened.
Hear my womanly roar.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody got time for that. I'm here.
Woman, get back in here and make me a sandwich.
Oh, God. That's it.
Hello?
Said, get off my live. Now, that right there actually reminded me of another interaction I had with a loud and boisterous woman. Let's take a look, shall we?
Can I respond now?
Yeah, absolutely, Jen.
I would really appreciate it if you just call me by my name. Is that impossible for you to have respect to call me by my name?
Yes, that's impossible, honey.
It's impossible? Then I'm going to call you a fuckboy. Is that okay?
Okay, listen, let's everybody.
Shout out to Jen. Let's continue.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm well. How old are you?
I am 29.
Uh-oh.
29.
Danger zone.
Let me make sure we're going right here. So what's the question?
So First, I want to say that I've been listening to you for a while.
Here we
That a
go.
lot of your
Here we
opinions
go.
are valid and extremely helpful.
I want to say you're the
for a lot of
king and
people
you're
that
the
listen to
man,
you.
but
I guess the thing that I tend to question is your approach in how you give advice to people. I think what you have to say is valid in many cases.
You mean my tone?
Another tone.
Not necessarily your tone. I think sometimes people get the tone mixed up with the message. But I think sometimes the message gets lost in that a lot of women that come on seem to be lost because they don't have the father figure to tell them things and they don't know a lot of the things that you're saying.
Okay.
But
well, unfortunately, they need to improve. It's just where I'm at with it. We cannot continue to ask men to supplement for the fact that women aren't where they need to be.
Listen, Kevin is not going to say it because he has more class than I do. So I'm going to just say it. You can't expect men to supplement for women when women ain't shit. See, Kevin chooses his words very carefully because he has a bigger platform, and I think it's his responsibility to do so. But women aren't where they need to be. Translation, bitches ain't shit. Ostrike, $10. Appreciate that. He says, sorry, I took a phone call during Goose Day. Number one, 8%, not 0.8% according to her own numbers. Number two, where does the 45,000 false accusation number come from? Only the women who are busted for false accusation. Exactly.
We've done that for too long. When men are where they need to be, women need to level up.
Yep. That's it. That's it.
Because softening the message.
Edward Mason said Bonnet Girl is still talking too. Yeah, she is, isn't she?
Changing the tone does nothing. How long have you watched my platform?
Oh, here we go.
I'd say probably about 3/4 of a year now.
All right. There have been plenty of times where I have moderated my tone, and you get the same outcome. It's actually tends to be, and I think there's the thought out there that if you were to change your tone, you'd catch more women. No. I think it.
River Bacon says, y'all notice how he asked if it was his tone, and she said not necessarily, which is her way of saying yes, it was the tone, but I don't want to say no. Yep. Good call.
I honestly think I catch fewer based upon what I know about the marketplace.
There you go. There you go. This is just straight wisdom. Straight wisdom.
So, you ever make allowance for the fact that
is this
maybe
the same?
I'm not harsh enough?
Oh, it started over. Oh, all right. Well, never mind. I didn't realize that it had started over. All right, cool. Man, I was ready to keep it going. God damn. Fantastic show, guys. Fantastic Friday show. Later on, I'm going to be broadcasting my workout. That's right. The 3/4 of a year. Right. Okay. Thanks, Dev. So later on, I'm going to be broadcasting my workout. And I think it's going to include, I think they'll probably include deadlifts. We'll see. I might just do deadlifts tonight just to prepare for my 430-pound deadlift attempt on Sunday. Then I'll do some upper body tomorrow. But coming up next is the fantastic F-Boy Island breakdown. I got to tell you guys. I did not have high hopes for F-Boy Island. I really didn't. F-Boy Island has pleasantly surprised me. What happened on yesterday's breakdown it was shocking as shit. It was unbelievable. We had one guy from a small town in Ohio telling some California girl who had been dating professional athletes and rappers and all this other kind of stuff. He says, you don't deserve shit. You don't deserve any of these guys. He straight called her out. He said, you said you're a fake and a fraud. I see right through you. He told that to her face. And her ass went chasing after him. Yes, the hell that happened. Yes, the hell that happened. I'm going to post a little bit of that on YouTube for you guys to see. Yeah, King Life says Casey for the win. There have been 3 Caseys in our dating show breakdowns. The first Casey was a woman. She was a woman. Not too easy on the eyes. She had an alpha boyfriend. Dude, he is the best she will ever do. He ended up leaving Casey for another woman, and now Evan Smith is now has a harem of Instagram models. Evan wins. Then there was the guy Casey, who was in a relationship with a girl named Ashley. She was white Ashley, so we called her Washley. She had a fat ass, so we also called her Ashley. She played a diabolical game, completely fucked over Casey, but we scrolled through Casey's Instagram, and Casey has recovered. Casey is now a bodybuilder. He looks fantastic. He's got hoes in different area codes. Like, he is good. So Casey recovered. The third Casey was another boy Casey, another male Casey from Ohio. And he caught the eye of easily the most insufferable chick of the 3. A girl by the name of CJ. CJ's hot. CJ not too bright. Not too bright. She's as dumb as a box of rocks, but she's hot. She shit tested Casey all through the series. Casey passed each and every one of them. Well, she had a little plan to try to make him pay for something that he had done, and that plan backfired. And she knew it. So, if you guys want to get in on the fun, download that Sharpe Stream app, guys. Listen, you can watch all of my premium content live for free every day right after TSR Live. If you want access to the archive and the replays, become a patron, $5 a month, or become a member of Sharpe Stream, $5 a month. Guys, it's less than 17 cents a day. And guys, I have an ocean of dating show breakdowns now. Dude, Love is Blind, 90 Day Fiancé, Temptation Island seasons 1, 2, and 3. What else do we have? F-Boy Island, Love is Blind, After the Altar. Like, I can't even think of any other ones. I mean, there are. I'm gonna actually have to count them, because dude, at this point we're talking hundreds of hours of breakdowns. Hundreds of hours of breakdown. I might actually start packaging them up. I might start packaging them up. Kofich says, how do you update the app? The app isn't working for me. Delete the app and then go to the App Store and re-upload it. Daniel, why is my cursor's acting funny today? Daniel Mason, $20 super chat. Appreciate that. Says, thanks for the stream. Anytime. King of Life says, also, we get to use GIFs, and it gets pretty funny. I'm telling you what, the chat is undefeated. Dude, the chat is half the fun. The guys absolutely love tempting my inner fat kid by talking about food, pizza gifts, and all that good stuff. I curse them all out, damn them all to hell, and then continue. So we have great fun during these breakdowns. Yeah, if you guys have any app issues, just go to sharpestream.com. That's all you got to do. Not hard, not complicated. It is WTF. It is. Oh, how about that? That is going to do it for this, the 786th edition of TSR Live. Thank you all for joining me today. Thank you to all of the super chatters, new members, and of course, my sniper squad. F-Boy Island Breakdown coming up next on Sharpe Stream. Take care. Get thousands of hours of content not found anywhere on patreon.com/Donovan Sharpe. Link in description.